You will need 1 onion, or a couple of smaller ones will do. Chop up your onions, doesn't really matter how big or small, do it to your own preference. You'll also need about 250 to 300 grams of mushrooms, and you're going to chop those. If they had been button mushrooms, then you could put them in whole, but these are larger ones, so I'm going to finely slice them. You need about 100 grams of walnuts, as fresh as you can. Some people like to chop their nuts, but I have a much easier way than that. I place them in a jug with water to cover, boiling hot water to cover, and leave them for a while. Just leave them for about 10 minutes to soften up. So I'm going to break these down with my liquidizer, and now that they're quite soft, it's an easy task. I'm going to do that until they're completely pulverized, but it makes them a lot finer than if you had chopped them. Very nice, smooth. Right, now the oil's hot. I'm just going to add my onions and give them a stir and cooking till they're nice and golden brown. I'm going to cut this chicken into not small pieces, but probably make the chicken breasts into half, and we'll see how the thighs go. The onions are now slightly browning, so I'm going to start adding my chicken. And start just slightly browning it, just to seal in the flavours. Keep turning to help it cook. So I'm going to add the mushrooms and start cooking those in. As there's so much of it, I've decided to transfer it into a big crock pot, which will be much easier. So I'm just warming that up before I put the chicken and the mushrooms in. Much better. So here go the rest of them into the crock pot. Much more room. Seems I've made enough for more than 4 people. Maybe I could feed about 7 people here. Hey ho, it's lovely, so everybody will want seconds. To add my creamy walnut paste, and as you can see, not many lumps in that. And basically I'm going to add chicken stock to make it up, just to cover the chicken and the mushrooms and the onions. I'm just going to add stock, which should just about cover the chicken. You don't want to do too little and you don't want to do too much. Out of it, some pomegranate puree would be great if you're really desperate and you can't find it. In fact, I have actually found this Mellis pomegranate sauce in Asda, so might be worth having a look in there. If you really can't get it, just go for a couple of or even one fresh pomegranate drink, fresh pomegranate juice drink. That would do the trick. As long as it's got pomegranate in it, I don't see why it shouldn't work. I'm also adding the pomegranate sauce, which isn't coming out very well, but basically it's going to be a couple of tablespoonfuls. Don't worry if it's really thick, that's how it should be. That will make a lovely, lovely dark, deep sauce. I'm also going to add a tablespoonful of tomato puree. That helps to thicken it and gives it a lovely flavour. And that's about a tablespoonful of tomato puree. Mix that in and let it carry on cooking for about an hour and a half. Bring it to the boil first and then let it slowly simmer with the lid on for an hour and a half, and then we can have a look at it then. I haven't added any sugar yet. I'm going to wait till near the end. It's quite sour right now, so you will need something sweet in it. I actually do usually use agave syrup, or you can use sweeteners, but this time I'm going to use probably, well, let's see how much sugar I have to add to it. I shouldn't think too much because I don't like it too sweet. Some people do, but everything's to taste. There you go. This is about halfway through. I've just taken the lid off. I think I'm going to finish cooking it with the lid off, and in a minute I'm going to taste it and see how much sugar it needs. I'll put a couple of pieces in, mix them in and give them time to melt in, and then I'll see if that's sweet enough in about, I don't know, 10 minutes. Looks lovely. Yummy. Let's see how that's doing. Have a little taste. I think it just needs another piece of the palm sugar in it. Let that one melt in, and I think that's perfect. I've just realised I need a little pepper. Got some cracked pepper here, so just put a little bit of that in. And a tiny amount of salt, just to flavour. Perfect, absolutely wonderful. Oh, you didn't see earlier on I threw one of those fresh bay leaves I bought. I didn't buy them, I stole them from a hedge in Clevedon. They're fantastic. Another taste. Delicious. Delicious. I'll just let that cook for its 1.5 hours. Let the 1.5 hours finish. Heaven. Someone's going to really enjoy that.